In this chapter, we've been covering Android Studio configuration settings. In the last section, we covered code style. In this section, we wish to cover inspections. Inspections have to do with how Android Studio can help you inspect your code for errors or omissions. Inspections can be found under the File Settings menu. Then we select Inspections. Off to the right, you can see the categories of inspections. We have abstract issues, Android, Android Lint, and so forth. Currently, my settings are set to the default settings. So let's take a look at those that are already selected. And you'll see there's subcategories. Let's uncheck one of these, such as Android XML element is not allowed. Okay, from now on, when I inspect my code, I will no longer get this warning, but I want to keep it the way it was. And this is how you'd go about modifying how inspections are done. The other interesting category here is Android Lint. Android Lint is very powerful and can spot a lot of programmer mistakes or omissions. It's worth going through and maybe modifying to more your coding style. If we scroll down, there are a lot of options available. So let's collapse the Android Lint category. And you'll see there's a bitwise operation issues category, very small. There's a class structure category. Now this is quite interesting for doing object-oriented code, making sure your code is structured the way you like. You have the option for anonymous inner classes, class may be an interface, and so forth. Some of these might be of use to you, like class may be an interface. I might want to check that so that I can replace my classes with an interface when I'm actually not doing so. There's a general section we could take a look at. This is interesting because some of these items get flagged under tools like Sonar and FindBug, like access static member via instance reference. That will get flagged every time under Sonar or FindBug. So that's a good one to have checked to help avoid those issues. When you're creating classes, you might want to have this one selected for implementing the equals in a hash code so they work correctly. Just some warnings to let you know that you might need to modify your code to make it more robust. There's also a JUnit section. Lots of choices for you to modify different things about JUnit. There's a memory issues section, calls to system GC or runtime GC. You may wish to be notified about those calls in your code. And then there's performance issues. I like this one because it does warn you about potentially time-consuming code problems. And then there's threading issues, which is another interesting category. Access to thread.run, call to thread.setPriority, thread.sleep while synchronized, call to thread start during object construction, and so forth. Some of these you might want selected, especially if you're not familiar with working with threads in Java. So as you can see, there are quite a few options in the inspections category that you may find very useful in your use of Android Studio, and they have helped me quite a bit as far as my coding and making sure it's nice and robust.